Vice President Joe Biden visiting Flint for the first time since taking office. He delivered a message that not only uplifted first responders in the city, but the community as well.
Biden says through the American Jobs Act, the U.S. government will spend money to improve Flint's police and fire departments. NBC 25's Brittany Noble has the story.
Flint firefighters and police officers stood in downtown Flint Fire Department waiting to plead their case to the Vice President of the United States.
The men and women that I serve alongside of daily proudly serve the citizens of this city, at the same time hoping for some much needed relief.
And Vice President Joe Biden says he has the answer with the American Jobs Act bill that he says will put more Flint firefighters and police back on the job to protect our streets.
If anyone listening doubts whether or not there's a direct correlation between the reduction in cops and firefighters and the rise in concerns of public safety, they need look no further than your city, Mr. Mayor.
In 2008, there were 265 police officers, and that year, the city had 35 murders and 91 rapes. But in 2010, there were fewer officers and more crimes. 144 officers, but there were 65 murders and more than 200 rapes. And this year, there's only 125 police officers.
God only knows what the numbers will be this year for Flint if we don't rectify it. And God only knows what that number would have been had we not been able to get a little bit of help to you.
Obama's $450 billion overall jobs plan would reduce payroll taxes on workers and employers, extend benefits to long-term unemployed people, and help states keep teachers and first responders on the job. But when that bill will pass Congress is uncertain.
Mr. Vice President, the city of Flint police and fire personnel are delighted to have a president and a vice president that believes in the simple idea that every American in every city like ours who works hard and plays by the rules has a fundamental right for economic security.
In Flint, Brittany Noble, NBC 25 News.
As for the American Jobs Act, it was voted down by the U.S. Senate last night, but Biden says they're not going to stop until the plan goes through. The vice president left Flint for Grand Rapids, where he discussed plans to improve public schools in the U.S.
And Biden's motorcade stopped traffic on the way to and from Bishop International Airport in Flint this morning. After Biden's speech, the motorcade returned to one of the airport's hangars where Biden, flanked by heavy security, boarded Air Force Two and departed for the west side of the state. A handful of lucky people caught a glimpse of the vice president's departure outside of Kogel Meats.
It was really weird because it was like there was cars coming down the street and then it was like nothing. There was like everything was just so quiet, nothing. And then all of a sudden the motorcycles and the cars started coming, and then we seen the vice president's car, and it was pretty cool.
Air Force Two took flight headed for Grand Rapids around 1 o'clock.